Here we go again. Always the same. Always the same. GNT back at it one more time for this lovely episode at our home away from home again. Baby Gorilla Comics, located in the beautiful Pendle, Pennsylvania area. More about that later. But until then, let's get to this episode. GNT right back at it. Hey, kick it, George. Kick it. What? No.
Can I kick it?
As you can tell, the whole crew is right back at it. Right here is beautiful Baby Gorilla Comics. Yes, I want to say Baby Gorilla Comics a whole lot this episode because it's time to highlight Baby Gorilla Comics. That's where we at. Over in, is that 424 Lincoln Highway?
West Lincoln Highway in Pendle, PA 19047. We're actually right in between Neshaminy Mall and Oxford Valley Mall, right on Business Route 1. So if you guys from Philly, you're like 5-10 minutes away. If you're in Trenton, Jersey, you're 5-10 minutes away. It's actually perfect dead center spot for the surrounding areas.
So if you want to drive past the dead mall to drive towards the other dead mall, go to the exciting comic book shop that's right here at 424 West Lincoln Highway. And go see our man Jose back at another episode. How you feeling, brother?
Dude, feeling great. So excited about this episode. We're actually gonna learn a little bit more about each other, which is gonna be interesting. But I can't wait to get into this episode and see what we find out about each other.
Oh, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. Across from me, Spider Kev.
What's going on, everybody? Oh, this is gonna be fun. I can't wait for this.
It's gonna be a good time.
That was good. I'm just playing. Whatever.
He's so excited. So excited. Next to Spider Kev, George.
Yo, what's good, people?
Frankie, a baby.
Hey, baby. Long time no see.
Go figure.
I know, right?
Go figure. I missed you, bro.
I missed you too.
No. All right. And Mike Murdoch on the 1s and 2s next to me.
As an 80s, 90s kid, you broke my heart by saying dead mole.
Yes. Yes. And
I'm right there with you, too.
I want to say it again.
The
malls are dead. They are dead.
Especially the Chamonix.
Especially that one. Oh, dude, the Chamonix was my spot, homie. Like,
freaking built a wall.
We used to wait outside of there. We used to call our parents and like the payphone that was out there. We used to seal. The payphone, bro. Dude. And like, if you were good, you can like have it like do the star 69 or star 68, whatever it was, and you'd be like, "Mom, pick me up real quick."
We had a baby. It's a boy.
Dude, I started a family working at a mall and raised my family working at Franklin Mills Mall and the Chamonix Mall, Willow Grove Mall, Quaker Bridge Mall. So I worked retail a very long time.
Yo, dude. We used to me and my best friend Chris, we used to walk up to Franklin Mills Mall, take the bus to Oxford Valley Mall, then take a bus to the Chamonix Mall. That's how much of a mall rat we were. Wow. That was Friday night.
That's what you used to do. It would be like, hey, what are we doing? We're going to the mall.
And you know what? We would go to every single Hot Topic that was there.
Just not the back section?
Look, man.
No, that's
Spencer's.
Kev's thinking about that back section. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's before you. Don't worry about the back section. Oh. And just in case, to just make someone happy, this is Larry, a.k.a. your captain present. Thank you.
If you were going to do it, I was going to do it.
No, I got you covered, bro.
Thank you.
Okay, so this episode, we thought it only makes sense for us to at least give y'all a little insight on the ones that y'all guys are watching all the time. See, we always talk about stuff, but we never talk about each other. And we never talk about what makes us us. So this episode is basically a get to know you type of episode. So y'all guys can see a little bit more behind the scenes of us. So with that being said, George, I just want to start off this way. Geeks at the Nerds Table, I think is an excellent name of a podcast.
I agree.
Do you want to tell the people how we came up with the name?
Sure. So obviously, Geeks at the Nerds Table started out with just a couple of us going to the movies, and we would go and eat afterwards because we're fluffy guys.
Uh-huh.
And,
We
you
like
know,
to eat.
What was it where we used to go to?
Uno's.
Uno's. Listen, it was slapping. Uno's slapped after the movies for some reason. I don't know. It just did. But we would go together and we would go watch a movie, and then we'd go eat and talk the entire time.
I think the highlight was we went to Uno's after No Way Home.
Yes, that was the right
Yes.
one. I think that's where everything started to kickstart. We're just like,
Yeah, it was at December. Yeah.
yeah, we
Going
were
into
just
the year.
like, man, we talk about the stuff together, but we kind of want to know what other people think, you know?
Mhm.
And so Larry came up with this great idea of like, we should start a podcast. And, you know, Kev and Larry were kind of brainstorming, and then they were like, you know, bring me in and we'll talk. And, you know, we kind of just made it happen. So as we're figuring out how to come up with a name for everything, you know, we're thinking, damn, how do we do it, right? So we're talking, we're like, well, we're at a table, right? What else was at a table? King Arthur, right? King Arthur and the Round Table. So we were thinking about Geeks at a Round Table. I think that's what we were starting off with the first name.
Something along those
Geeks
lines.
of the Round
Geeks of the
Table.
Round Table.
And
Yeah.
we were like, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a group something similar to that. So we were like, we can't do that. So they wound up being Geeks at the Nerd Table. We're geeks, but we're also nerds. It's all the same thing at the end of the day. So we wound up kind of running with that. And then it really sold it for me when we got that first logo and it said GNT. It just rolls off the tongue.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once we saw that, we're like, this is it. GNT. And ever since then, GNT was born. And here we are.
Here we are.
3 years later.
3 years.
3 years later.
3 years later.
To think that we just passed our 3-year anniversary in March. That was like, first of all, it went over our heads because we're like, damn, we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
I think we were talking about it like after one of the Daredevil episodes that we were
It
talking.
was my first guest.
Yeah.
And when
Mhm.
before I became part of the crew
Mhm.
at doing Daredevil episode 4.
And we
Yeah.
had mentioned it afterwards. Damn it! It was our 3-year anniversary. We forgot. But anyway, we're still here, and the good thing is, I feel like every year we've brought in a new face, and then so we were happy to bring in Jose with this one. So
He's so pretty.
calm down.
So-
No, it's a callback from his first
I know,
episode.
I know.
He's like, I'm so pretty.
Okay, so thank you for that. So there you go. That's the kind of answer the question that I think I got a couple of times within the last number of weeks. Is like, how in the world did y'all come up with your name, and how do y'all even get started? And a lot of times, like we said before to people, and if y'all guys are interested in starting a podcast, I would tell you what the hardest thing is: pressing record.
No, making sure
That-
the mic works.
I was about to say that.
I
but
can throw
I'm-
shade at myself for those first few episodes that Larry's mic was not working. And actually, you know what? Even after our 1-year anniversary, I think your mic was not working either.
Exactly.
No,
Ken's-
it was
Ken's
mine.
didn't work at Christmas.
Where? The recent Christmas?
No,
Christmas.
the one we
But they were
the-
sitting next
the-
to each other.
like second Christmas
No,
episode.
Kev was over there.
It was
Kev was
just
over
me.
there.
I was yelling over here.
It was just me.
Either way, we have learned our lessons.
You
We
guys have
have gotten better.
you had to
Yeah,
cut,
and we
you had,
had 2 tech guys instead of just 1.
Now
Well,
there's
3. 3 tech guys.
you had to cut out my outro because my mic
No,
wasn't working.
The crazy part was
It was a really good
But you
one.
know
too.
what,
It was good at
It lives in here.
it does.
That-
It lives right here.
We
that
remember
year
it.
that year was rough for me personally. I had to say it out loud. But unfortunately no one else could hear it.
Well, then
You
was it
did.
really out loud?
Or an episode that doesn't exist.
Oh yes, or the episode that
Star Wars
that,
episode that was
The
My
Star
first
Wars
episode completely doesn't exist.
Crazy
I
part
had a joke that was so
Oh,
good.
yes.
It's so good we don't remember. Anyway, continue.
I really don't remember.
So anyway, besides the mic working and stuff, to just encourage y'all guys, if anybody that's interested in just going ahead and making or doing a podcast or anything, like I said, literally the hardest part is just pressing record. Just getting the gumption to just go ahead and press record and doing it. Because we like to psych our own selves out when it comes to wanting to do anything that's outside of the norm. So how about this? Go outside the norm, press record, and see what happens.
All you got to do is take a leap of faith and just do it. And it's like, I'm sorry, because so for me, I own a comic book store. I've never owned.
You own a comic book store?
But like,
this is where we're at.
it wasn't anything that anyone ever expected. My wife didn't even expect me to say I want to open a comic book store. I knew nothing about opening a comic book store. Nothing. This was July 4th, 2022, and I was coming home from work completely and utterly miserable and I just hated corporate America. I was tired of putting on clown suits, and I'm not an ass kisser, never have been, never will be. And I was just miserable. And my wife turned to me and she said, something's got to change. Something's got to change. And I looked at her on July 4th, and something I had in my mind, and was like, she's going to kill me. And I was like, I think we're watching Monday Night Raw, which is funny. And I turned to her and I go, I think I know what I want to do. And I just looked at her and I was like, I want to open a comic book store. And I, honest to God, thought she was just going to be like, are you freaking crazy? There's no money in comic books. They're only like $5. And she turned around without missing a beat, without a step, and said, I think you would be great. I think this fits you perfectly. And I think you would be fantastic at it.
True love.
Never knew, spent 27 years running other people's businesses, Lowe's, Eddie Bauer, Big and Tall, all different types of businesses, and didn't know the first thing about starting a comic book store. Went online. 4 months later, we opened up Baby Gorilla Comics. Bare walls, but we had some books, and here we are. This coming November will be 3 years for us too. So
I just want to take a step back, and I want to thank your wife, because if you were watching Raw and you were like, I know what I want to do with my life, I'm sure in her head she's like, he's going to be a wrestler. When you were like, I want to be a comic book shop, she just started like, oh my God.
Like, thank God.
That's just like,
but I know that took a very serious turn, and thank God Mike lightened it up because shit was getting real. But nah, man, like, go out there and take the step. Who cares? Don't listen to your family, especially your family. Don't listen to your friends. Listen to the haters and let them hate, and give them something even more to hate about. Don't ask for permission. Don't apologize for what you're doing and who you want to be. Just go out there and do it. Let the haters hate. Let people talk. It doesn't matter. If you're happy, if you're making $50 or making $150,000. There were days here where we made $3 and sold one comic book. I'm still here and I still love it. And it's not work for me. So take the leap, jump, ask friends, ask us. I'm sure we can give you advice on podcasting, on business, or anything else. We're more than just Geeks at the Nerd Table. We're family men. We're husbands and fathers and everything else. And I'm stopping my rant.
And brothers. Because
we are definitely our own, within our own family. We are the family that we get to choose. And I'd rather be here with these guys than anybody else right now at this point. So,
same. I knew from the moment I met you, that's real tight with you. I am legitimately in your family.
Facts.
You went. I was waiting for Dynamite.
Just because I'm in the family, don't mean I can say that.
Mike knows his boundaries.
He's like, that's a line I don't know.
He knows exactly where he needs to go.
Yep.
He tapped the line. He stepped right back.
That's why he stopped that.
he let me say it. He's like, up over there. Dynamite! But it's funny. All right, so another breakdown of like how did all of this happen? Or when, like, how do we know each other? Because obviously we're not technically family, even though we're family. But
we all met it.
okay, it's
Pretty much.
crazy.
Same.
It's crazy.
So with,
This segment of the show is brought to you by Lowe's.
yeah,
Home improvement.
Home improvement. So end up being that both Kev, George, and myself was all working at the same exact Lowe's location at the same exact time. Later on, Frank came in and started working at the same location with us. And then around that time, that's when George went ahead and took his awesome ability of being one of the top engineers and producers in the city when it comes to music. He took his talents and started doing his thing at the studio. Me and Jose,
Yeah,
I've known this man for over 12 years, I want to say.
it's been since early 2000. Yeah, like
It was like
Yeah.
2010, 2011.
yeah, somewhere around in that area.
Right.
When I decided to take the leap and to work for Lowe's. Didn't last very long. But, I was working at Model Sporting Goods for like 9 years. I mean, you got to go to Moe's. Unfortunately, they're no longer around. But
No,
I
they're
went
not.
to Lowe's, and
They had the best clearance.
I was
man.
Larry's boss. I was Larry's manager.
Facts.
And yeah, me and him just hit it off, and like it never felt like he's not one person that you have to babysit when you're a manager, which is always awesome when you have employees. But no, like even from I think day one, we hit it off more like friends than boss employee, and like I'm a very chill boss, so
Facts.
as long as you're doing your job, I don't bother you. And yeah, that's how we met. And then like 3 years ago, I opened up my comic book store. I think they already had you guys had the podcast
Mhm.
already.
Just started it, I think.
Or you were on your way to do your 1 year anniversary.
Correct.
show.
Yeah.
And I just opened the store, and Larry reached out to me. He goes, "Hey, Hose." They call me Hose. I'm not offended if you call me Hose. Because I got it. No,
That's gotta
Yeah,
I love you, Bill. But yeah, we met, and then he called me, and he goes, "Hey, I see that you opened up a comic book store," and Larry's a very good salesperson.
maybe.
We knew each other and we talked and everything, but we didn't really hang out and stuff like that. So it was more like work friends and acquaintances. And then through that, he called me, and I was like, "Yeah, I would love to shoot the show here." And I thought they were just gonna shoot the show here, and they were like, "No, you're gonna be in the show." And I'm like, "Oh snap!" And,
Zero pressure.
Anxiety raised.
So yeah, and ever since then, I met all these guys, fantastic guys. Me and I get along with everybody great. Me and Larry have a certain relationship. Me and Kev, I have different relationships with everybody here, and we've all connected in very different ways. And it's just been awesome. It's been awesome. So I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's amazing what I never discount my interactions with anybody because I never know what the interaction could actually turn into. Never. So anybody that I ever talk to, that I ever run into, it's always good, at least how I look at things. I treat people well regardless of who they are, how they are, and why they are. I always treat people well.
That's the way it should be.
So when I go across them again, you never know what I need may be in their possession. Yeah. So if I treat them wrong, then I'm screwed, and I screwed myself up. So, with that being said, thank you for welcoming this crazy person with the idea. But what you don't know is that right before I got in contact with you, officially, because I heard about everything from Richie. Thanks, Rich. And
Steadfast. So if y'all guys need any work, Steadfast, Richie Sessions.
So end up being that around the same time, me, George, and Kev was looking for a possible location for us to have like kind of like a home away from home base. Because what better place to have a comic book based, almost geeky type podcast than inside a comic book store? It only makes sense. Yep. So we was actually talking about like, oh man, that'd be cool. We could find somebody. Then lo and behold, I found out about your comic book store, and that's what ended up happening. So it's amazing how everything really works out, and I'm always for it. If it was meant to be, fate would just allow it to be, and that's exactly what happened, and that's why we're here today. So that's fantastic. And lastly, this man right here, this man right here, I know Mike Berry, God, 22 years now,
something like that, yeah, dude.
So
we celebrated my 21st birthday together, I think.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I'm
now
right.
40.
You're right. I bought your cake.
Yeah, into the store.
Yeah, that's it. So me and Mike worked together at another company, and when we was working there, I would say I was probably your coolest boss at that time.
Probably. we first had disciplinary action. And I should have listened to you because I was making some bad life choices.
Yes, you was. Yes, you was. Stay away. Okay.
Smooth.
No. So nonetheless, that turned to us talking, to us really talking, to us hanging out together, to you meeting my family.
Yep.
To the end.
Exactly.
Like you've been there for 20-some years as my close friend.
I'll take it back. To show you how long it's been. I remember arguing with you about Optimus Prime in the first Michael Bay movie looking dumb. And you were like, no, it's great. I'm like, why has he got flames on him? Just make him a red truck. It's going to be great, Mike. It's going to be great. Like we go back that far.
And he was right. It was great.
But ultimately, what ended up happening was because of our relationship, I know what he knows. And when we started our podcast, one of the first supporters that we had was Mike.
That's true.
Because Mike was at work, always making sure that he was listening as he was working. So
I have a job where I can wear headphones a lot.
Exactly. So with that being said, when an opportunity came up, like, you know what, we need someone else to go ahead and join.
It was Kenobi.
And
yep.
I need someone else that knows Star Wars. Who better than Mike Berry that knows everything about Star Wars? Literally, he knows the daggone model numbers of different ships.
It's not that I know them, it's that my brother hammered them into my head.
Patrick is the man. but that's how Mike ended up joining the group, because it was like, all right, it was kind of meant to be like, hey, Mike, we have a spot.
Yep.
You'll be perfect. What do you think? And he joined, and these guys binded and blended in so daggone well.
It took Mike to like me a little bit.
A little bit. But I love you now.
And that's all that matters.
That's all, folks.
There you go. So that's how the crew officially really got together.
Hold on. Is that like the secret origin?
Me?
Yeah,
No, that's the
GNT
GNT secret origin.
Basically.
Yeah.
We need the power signs and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what? So I guess the center point of all this is me.
And Lou.
Yeah.
You know what?
The
center point of this is retail tool business.
6 degrees of Larry Marshall.
Yeah, oh my God.
That's a book.
Yo, I didn't. You don't realize that you're the orchestra or something until you start breaking down what the orchestra is. Like, holy crap! I guess.
And then you're like, these are my friends.
Yes, these are my brothers.
It makes sense why you're the cat.
Big thanks.
So there you go. So that's the origin of GNT. I hope you actually learned something from it, but it's time to learn a little bit more. Okay, so first question, guys. This is going to be interesting. Guys, ready?
No,
Are we supposed to study? Huh? Is this going to affect my grades?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't
start
test
up
well.
high.
Yeah, me either, bro.
Is this a standardized test?
Yes.
Is it timed?
I have a number one pencil.
I was a solid C
Where's the escape
student.
sheet?
Solid C student. Okay. So, gentlemen, What was your gateway into nerd culture?
Oof. I know mine. If y'all want me to go first,
You can go
Go
first.
ahead, hit it.
There you go.
I grew up. I was born in 1984, almost 1985. Ninja Turtles hit when I was like 1 or 2 years old, 1987. But what it was Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters, and that I had Ghostbuster sheets, Ninja Turtle sheets. But what really cemented me into geek fandom was Batman 1989. My cousin worked at Dave's Comics in Levittown. And he had advanced tickets to Batman 1989. I was a tender age of 4, and I saw Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson on the screen in New Jersey a week before it came out.
Ooh.
And my first memories growing up really are Batmania 1989, and I've been riding that train ever since. I remember going to Disney World and seeing Batman Converse shoes. I remember seeing Batman carved into the back of people's heads, haircuts.
Yes.
And there's a picture of me at Florida with the big old black shirt with the yellow bat symbol on it. I have not jumped off that hype train ever since.
That's good.
Oh,
That's
no.
good.
Yes, we do.
DC Mike.
Yep.
Like,
What do you say, Frank?
you know, this is going to sound really cheesy, but my introduction into all the geek culture is through my brothers. My family, literally, it's quite hilarious because, you know, you grow up in the early 90s and you had one TV. You know, whatever you were watching, everybody watched. And it wasn't like, oh,
You had a
we're going to
TV?
watch. Yeah, right. Right. But it wasn't like, oh, we're going to watch something that like the youngest brother can watch. No, we watched literally our 90s was watching The Simpsons, watching Home Improvement, watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, watching Star Trek, Next Generation, like watching all of these shows. And while we weren't watching those things, we were watching Star Wars, we were watching Batman, we were watching Ghostbusters, we were watching all these things. All while it's like, hey, a movie's coming out. A new Star Wars movie's coming out. I went to the Star Wars movies with my brother for my birthday every year that it came out. Like, super important to me with that. You know, that's all like, that's where I came into the geekdom. And if I'm really going to be honest, you know, it's that. It's also my father. We watched James Bond, every single James Bond. It came out. I wasn't supposed to be in those theaters, and I'm going to the James Bonds with my father when they came out. You know, watching all of that, going back and watching all of the old James Bonds, and having a passion. Like the 50th anniversary came out set, and I had to buy all of them. Yeah, you become obsessed with it.
That's what's up. All had to do with family.
Yeah, family. It's all about family.
Family. Jose, what you say, bro?
So mine's is kind of 2-part because it didn't get me. The second part didn't get me into the comic book realm, but I think it's what officially made me a nerd. For me, the first thing is Superman. Christopher Reeves as Superman, and for me, movies were my childhood. That was it. Like movies and TV was 98% of my childhood. It was my parents, it was my brothers, it was my sister, it was TV. VHS players, watching movies all the time. So for me, Christopher Reeves was it. He was larger than life. He could fly and he was real to me. So Christopher Reeves will always have a special place in my heart. But what really made me like, or what my favorite thing was when I was a kid besides Christopher Reeves was wrestling.
Wrestling.
Go back to Monday Night Raw.
No, we're not talking about Monday Night Raw. We're talking about NWA, the original Four Horsemen. You know, Arn Anderson, Tony Blanchard, Ric Flair, Sid Vicious, Pedro San Martino. This is it's dual. It's kind of dual and it's kind of personal. But I will share. It's the best memories I have. My father's still alive. But it's the best memories I have from my childhood of me and my father together, and me and my grandfather, who is like the most important man in my life. My parents used to go every weekend to watch wrestling at my grandfather's house on Sundays, the whole family. And I would sit with my grandfather, sit right on the floor behind his recliner, his red ugly sofa covered in plastic, and see him watch wrestling. And I would just sit there with him and watch wrestling while all the other grandkids were playing on the street or stealing my grandma's water ices that she used to sell. I was watching wrestling with my grandfather. So for me, it was wrestling and Superman.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hold on. Second cut out.
Have no choice but to now, yo.
All right. So yeah, I guess going into my nerd culture, man. I didn't think of myself as a nerd until maybe I was in like, I don't know, high school, really. But I dabbled in a bunch of little things, manga, video games, TV shows like everybody else. But I never thought of it as being nerdy. I thought it was just the cool thing at the time. Because as a kid, like, how many of you guys were like taking a schoolhouse ball and going Kamehameha and doing that in the park, right? Hanging out with the guys. So I never thought about it being a nerd until I got into Star Wars.
No, we did. I
wasn't like, I knew about Street Fighter, but it wasn't like anything that popped in my head. Dragon Ball.
We grew up in two very.
Come on, let's Mortal Kombat.
Get over
here, bro.
Oh, yes.
I got beat up for Batman shirts, bro.
Yeah.
He got Hadouken, I got Kamehameha.
Yeah, there's like a 15-age year gap.
But yeah, until I got into Star Wars, man, I think that's really where it kind of took its shape. And I remember going, and I think we were walking around Kmart, and I saw the poster for Phantom Menace, right? I'm like, I told my mom, I think I want to go see that. And she's like, you're not gonna like that. And most people in my family don't like Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was something weird to them. They're like, oh, it's weird, you're not gonna like it. And I was like, no, it looks cool. And the reason why was because I saw Darth Maul and the skull thing, and I'm just like, he looks really cool. He's the bad guy. And that kind of drew me in. And then when I started hearing about the lore of Star Wars, I got deeper into it. Clone Wars came out, and that's when you really understood what the Jedi were. You know what I mean? And at that point, it wasn't the full version of what the Jedi were. It was them being soldiers, but it was really cool because these dudes are killing droids with a freaking laser sword, right? Who doesn't like that?
Facts.
And I kept diving in, and to this day, Star Wars is the reason why I am considered a nerd. And I think being a nerd has helped me in, just my own life when being creative. I do music for a living, and just being able to say I'm a nerd, it opened me up to just be like, well, I can do this. I can do music. I can do this. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's really been my like defining moments, really finding out Star Wars and realizing who I am. So
his one with the Force.
For me, I mean, growing up, I knew deep down that I was different, especially with someone who is on the spectrum like I am. I'm kind of like Jose. I was more into the movies and the TV shows. I call that the golden age of television for me, because I grew up with animated TMNT, Spider-Man, you had Batman, you got Teen Titans for me. Like, just all that stuff on television was amazing. And of course, movies. I did have a VHS, guys. You guys keep making fun of me for it. I did have a VHS.
You did.
I did. That's true. And we still have
never
it.
used it.
We did use. I use it all the time. My parents will tell you. Yeah.
That's because I didn't want to buy a DVD player.
They were expensive when they first came out.
Yeah, man.
They were. Whatever. But I watched Scooby-Doo. That's why I loved the supernatural part as I grew up more, because of Scooby-Doo. Whether it was supernatural or what we got now with Agatha, I really enjoyed Agatha. You can fight me for it. Shut up. You got to look for different reasons.
One very specific reason.
One very specific reason. But and then my dad would actually take me to the comic book store as I think I was a little older, and I got my first 5-6 comic books, which I showed to the group when I was cleaning out the my old closet. So I didn't say it. But how it really started for me when it comes to Marvel and like everything else, it was Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man. I mean,
Mhm.
seeing it on the big screen and just falling in love with a character that you can relate to, with being so grounded when he's struggling between being a superhero 24/7 and struggling to be Peter Parker, living a normal life. And that, and the villain Green Goblin, one of the, my opinion, my favorite, my favorite live action Spider-Man villain of all time. I think Willem Dafoe was fantastic.
Fantastic.
Even though I
Yes.
wish now they didn't give him a mask instead of him actually using his real face, because he was great in No Way Home. He didn't miss a
Yeah.
beat.
Ugh.
But yeah, that was the start for me with Spider-Man, 100%.
So for me,
Yes.
and it was one of those things that Jose, you'll be able to understand this with me. The
Because we're old.
So okay, and I'm kind of surprised that I didn't hear this from any of y'all guys. Actually, for me, it started off with video games. So, for me, back in the day, I'm talking a long time ago. My mom bought me an Atari 2600.
It's funny because I was thinking, like,
Yes,
when you were you said
exactly.
back in the day,
Back in
I'm
the
like,
day.
this is what he was doing.
Yeah,
And ping
And
pong.
my favorite game back then was Moon Patrol.
Oh, nice.
Was a little, like 1 pixel car that that jumped over like craters. It was a terrible game, but I absolutely loved it. But that got me into wanting to play more video games, and then Nintendo got released, and then next thing you know, I'm playing games like of course Legend of Zelda, which is still my all-time favorite video game series of all time. But also it got me into games like Dragon Warrior, and got me into Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy. So those games led me into a whole different type of universe, or reality that's not like anything else that I was ever really into. Because other than that, my father, even today, is a huge sports guy. Huge sports guy. Like I still don't think I could beat my father in basketball. He's just that guy. Yeah, imagine you trying to play sports thinking you're going to be better than your father, and your father can run a 4.25 on a 40-yard dash.
He still got that record, don't he?
I think right now he's very old. I mean, he's not very old, but he's definitely in his late 60s. And right now he could probably still run like a 4.8.
He beat me, I'm sure.
Right. So but that's who I grew up with. But he always welcomed, no matter what, anything else I was into. So it was like, oh, here's the sports. You want to do sports? Here you go. But hey, son, on Saturday, you want me to take it to the comic book store? Let's go.
Nice.
So my father was very, very opening to everything. So I think that with video games, and my father allowed me to be adaptable to everything, or to anything that was a positive, kind of made me to the person I am, that really got me into the nerd culture. And also kind of really molded me to be the person I am now, because you can literally talk to me. You could talk to me about any kind of sports, anything. And then I could turn around and talk to you about Marvel. And I can turn around and talk to you about tech. I can turn around and talk to you about the Bible. I could turn around and talk to you about cars. My father said there's no limit to what you can get into. If you like it,
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So that's answers my question. It actually started off with video games.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because I feel like for me, video games were always there, but like it was always movies and TV and everything like that. I was already a nerd way before video games were like big for me, because I was watching the shit so young. So it's everybody's interesting on that level. What brings you in when it brings you in?
Now, I also have to look at it from the point of view of the type of privilege that some people have. because a lot of times, unfortunately, like my parents separated when I was very, very young. So I was actually like 5 years old when my parents separated. So the things that my father would give me access to or want to do with me wasn't the things that my mother was able to do for me. So I was able to probably go to the movies with my father if the rest of the family was going, if I was able to go and do those things. But when I went with my mom, I couldn't go to the movies.
Yeah.
I couldn't go and watch all these shows and do all this stuff like that. But what my mom could do is go buy me a $15 game, a $15 Atari game, or a $10 Nintendo game at that time you can find. $25. You're like, you really pushing it down. You know what I mean?
It's just a different time for us.
Right.
It was
right. And
I think we appreciated stuff just so much more.
We did.
Because it was so much harder to come by. Like our first game system was freaking Atari. Like, and then we went to a Nintendo where we had to blow the cartridge. But like everybody's fandom and everybody's nerdom all started differently, but all led us to the same spot.
Exactly.
You know, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I was really like sitting here really thinking about like the games that I was playing and all that stuff. You know, like you said, going back to those wonderful Nintendo days.
Yeah.
Back then, if you remember, like the Dragon Warrior 3, for example, those were my all-time favorite games. The game came with a map. All right, a physical paper map that you had to unfold, and the thing was like an 8x10. You know, it was a gigantic map. You literally would play that game for like 100 hours. Like games back then, like they really took time, and you like so one game that cost $20 lasted you for a long time, and you always wanted to play it.
You weren't being a game in 2-3 days back then.
Dude, I specifically remember, it's funny you say maps. I specifically remember drawing maps on a box for the original Legend of Zelda with my brother with a marker. Like, no, this one's next, and then it goes to this, and you got to do this. Like,
I got something even better for Larry. There was a time when you couldn't even save your game.
Right,
you turned it off. You were done,
done.
And you played tomorrow. You started right from Mario
You
Brothers,
got-
right from number one.
you got really good
1-1.
at that stage. Well, it's funny. I think, you know, you bring it back to video games. I think the second argument we ever had was about why you didn't like Xbox. And you were like, I was like, Halo, dude, you gotta play Halo. And you were like, name me 3 other games to buy an Xbox. And I was like, but Halo.
And that's still the discussion today. That's all Xbox has.
Yo,
Halo.
but it's funny. 360 came out, and all of us bought a 360.
Yep.
Everybody bought a 360. And then,
In fact, I bought several.
yes, you did. He had a special edition.
You know what? No, oh my God. I waited in line at the CompUSA by the store, and then I came right to work from waiting overnight, and you had me put it in the safe.
Yes. Yeah, to make sure nobody took it. Yes.
Yo,
Yes, I did.
Franco Mills is sketchy.
Yes, yes, I did.
You think?
Yes, I did. Okay, so that was the first question, and it looked like we're not going to have a whole lot of other questions. So here we go. Here's the next question.
Thank God for editing.
What's your most controversial nerd opinion?
Well, I'll go first. I'll raise my hand like I was.
Ooh, big me.
Batman sucks.
I feel you on that.
Batman. All right.
Get
I
your
gotta
popcorn. And here we go.
Okay, so let me explain my definition. Batman, everything that happens in Gotham, everything that happens in Gotham is all Batman's fault.
So
Everything is Batman's fault. Why? Because he is a coward and he will not take a life. If you killed the Joker, Jason Todd would have never died. Harley Quinn in one verse would have never died. I know he has his moral code of not to kill, and I know if he killed, there would be no Batman comic books because there will be no villains to fight, and you can't create that many villains. But you need to man up and do what's right. The Joker should be dead. He should be, along with a bunch of others, but mainly the Joker. And I love Batman, don't get me wrong. But I
Do
think
you?
Batman
She doesn't sound like it.
Batman until I became probably in the last 5 years, I was a Batman Superman fanatic, and then I grew up, and I realized that Batman is a punk.
Let me pull that knife out.
And he should kill. And there's a lot of evil things, including things happening to kids that he could have prevented that he did not. And that's all I'm saying. Sorry, Mike. I still love you, and you're still my friend.
It's okay. It's okay, bro. I get that. Are we rebuttaling these things?
Oh, do you need
Where
some
that
for that
was
burn?
I need some ointment.
Need some liquor?
The rebuttal will be on a different episode. Geeks at the nerd table.
Keep that in your little.
Man, I
in
thought
your
mine
memory
was going to
bank.
be the most controversial.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but
I think you're right.
we'll talk about it later.
All right.
man.
I
How
just
was
gonna be
anyone
spicy.
gonna top that?
Spicy meatballs.
I'm waiting for the mic drop. You're lucky they're on stands, bro.
I don't want to have to buy a new mic, so I'm not going to drop it. I'll
man.
pretend.
Okay, who want to go after that one?
Let's see. I thought mine was going to be more controversial, but I don't think so anymore.
No.
So wait, I got something funny real quick. So I didn't really have one for the controversial, so I'll leave it to the rest of you guys. But I did go to ChatGPT, and I was just like, let me just see what ChatGPT thinks. And the first one that pops up, Batman is overrated, and it would be nothing without prep time. Literally, that's the first one that pops up, Mike. I'm sorry. It wasn't me, it was ChatGPT. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Batman without prep time would not be one.
Hold on.
Batman.
My arm hurts. Your arm hurts. My arm hurts. My arm hurts.
Shoulder blade to shoulder blade is on fire. I can't pull this one out right away.
Okay.
Man.
Go ahead, Frank. This is gonna be easy.
oh my god, mine is like so watered down.
You should have left that one for last.
I'm sorry. Let's start this
He had to
segment
get it off
over.
his chest. You're like,
He's getting it out.
I don't think I can be the same after that.
You feel like you're a person.
I do. Good thing it wasn't on camera.
Yeah, that's not on.
Not at all. Wow.
Should we have opened with that?
Too late now.
Too late now, bro. The can has been opened.
Sorry, I'm new to this.
That was Jose saying a can of water.
And that's the bottom line, because Jose
Said so.
Hey, I'm the bad guy.
There's always one in the group. Bro.
Okay.
Go ahead, Frank.
Go ahead, Frank.
Luke Skywalker is a wimp. He should not be OP. Look, Luke Skywalker got next to no training. Who did he get training from? A ghost? We don't know any of that. Who did he get training from? Yoda, who didn't really want to train him, and then gave him barely any training. And when he goes to fight the Dark Lord, and then realizes he actually has to fight the Emperor too, what does he end up doing? He says, I'm not going to win. I'm going to throw away my lightsaber. And that's how I'm going to win, is by not fighting you. And I'm going to get that guy who's my father, who's actually powerful and can actually do stuff, to kill you. Like, Luke Skywalker is a whip. The whole idea that everybody wants him to be OP and amazing, he's not. He can't be.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
He said with his teeth.
And that's the show
man.
for tonight.
I need a cigarette after that.
I think that hit worse than mine, though.
See, that hit his heartstrings, right? You just hit my heartstrings, bro.
Listen,
My heartstrings.
I broke so many VHSs of the original trilogy. I love the original trilogy to
Not
so
that
much.
much.
Hold
But
on.
people
Not that
are
much.
I want to turn
so
the knife.
obsessed.
I want to turn the knife in George's back.
What? Why?
I want to.
Ooh.
I want to turn the knife in George's back just a little bit.
Come to the dark side. Join
The
us.
Grinch is an overrated Christmas movie.
No! We are not liable for what is going to happen. Internet. You have to lose an entire set, bro.
He just broke the internet.
What? The flip.
He wasn't supposed to have two.
No!
He wasn't supposed to have two.
You are the villain of this group.
Kevin,
You are the villain of this group.
good vibes, Kevin. Good vibes. Serenity now. Serenity now.
Daredevil.
Oh my god! How do I get attacked twice in one freaking sitting? Flip.
I'm
So
sorry.
who's next?
I just remember that Christmas special.
You were mad though, because guess
Elf
what?
should have won.
You didn't, but you didn't. Oh my god! Fix this fucking-
Kevin, you need time to cool off because I'll go next, and I don't think mine's gonna offend anyone at this table.
Let's go, Mike. We need a break.
Let's hear.
in the world.
I am vengeance.
Damn, that went south really
right.
quickly.
This might be an episode on its own.
Exactly. Rebuttals are, pal.
Yeah,
I'm about to drop a 6-page thesis on you.
I don't know how to read.
I'll say it.
I'm blind. I need braille.
All right, mine ain't gonna hurt anybody, and thank you all. Nightmare Before Christmas is terrible. It sucks. Oh my god!
Oh
It is
my
so
God.
overrated. Tim Burton didn't
No, I
even direct
literally
it.
freaking grew up on Nightmare Before Christmas.
Tim
It
Burton
is a
didn't.
fantastic.
Tim
movie.
Burton didn't even direct it. He produced it. It's terrible. It's completely overrated. I saw that week 1 at Woodhaven Mall when it came out, and I went out and went, and
Oh, man.
nah, the zero. Maybe he's the good part. I don't know. I flip and hate that movie. Corpse Bride was garbage. Tim Burton's
agree with on that
had like, if it wasn't for like Batman '89 and Big Fish, Tim Burton wouldn't be Tim Burton.
So you didn't.
Edward Scissorhands maybe, but I'm definitely all right. Beetlejuice. All right, I'm gonna rebuttal a little bit of that. I'm gonna take a little bit of that back, but I will die on the hill of Nightmare Before Christmas is overrated. The songs suck. The animation is decent. The character designs are lame, and I don't
Animation. Well, do you know what animation is, there, buddy? That was claymation.
claymation.
That was claymation, not animation. It's a whole different genre.
all right. Well, let me talk to you about how Luke went with the Force and did the true Jedi thing.
No rebuttals. No rebuttals.
That's what I'm saying. We're not rebuttaling. We're not rebuttaling, right? Right, pal?
Oh, man.
So,
Oh,
Nightmare Before Christmas is garbage.
You know what's crazy? That one doesn't hurt me as bad as the Grinch one.
Well, let's talk about
You
how
wanna talk
Batman
to my
doesn't
lawyer?
kill Joker, he kills Robin.
I'll give you my lawyer's phone number if you want to fight me about it.
No, we got Matt Murdock right here.
I don't think you need glasses.
Yeah, you don't need
Camera zoom.
Should we?
no, the glasses become his horns.
Let's get.
You
Whose
look like a
turn is it?
bird. What the
I think it's,
Larry or Kev.
it's Daredevil.
Oh,
Kevin,
man.
are you okay for it?
I
Or you
really
need time?
don't know how I topped that. Larry, please go.
No.
I don't know how the hell I topped that. I really don't.
What is your controversial opinion?
There's 3 that came to mind, but I'm trying to figure out what I want to say.
damn, you
Like
can't
no
top one of those.
I can't. No.
At this point, is it even worth trying to top it? Like,
No, it's not.
Let's move on.
I'm kind of hurt right
Jose
now,
still
man.
has the worst.
Yeah, he hit me
Did we
twice.
say what your?
I didn't have one, but I don't think I have the. I don't have the mental capacity to come up with one now.
George's
I'm
controversial
sorry.
I'm
topic.
sorry.
He's
I'm
tired of
sorry.
being
Brutally
attacked.
attacked, and you're all witnessed it here on GNT. Okay,
we
That
don't
was a
even need to have
drive-by.
we don't even need to have a
I
conversation.
wasn't expecting
We don't even
it.
need to have a conversation about it, but in my opinion, Wakanda Forever is one of the top worst movies, MCU movies of all time.
Wakanda forever.
And Super Mario Bros. Is the most overrated Nintendo character of all time as well.
What?
See,
Of Nintendo.
I'm still
Super
not
Mario.
Mario?
I'm not affected.
Mario. Larry's not the blow.
Mario?
What? We're about to have the last episode of Geeks at the Nerd Table. Okay,
Subscriber count. The subscriber
If you
count just
like
got
this
hit by a
ad-
Goomba.
we're finding
I
out
love
so
that.
much about each other.
I love a normal person just eating mushrooms and just getting magical powers. That's what drugs does to you.
Yeah, and it's dope.
That's why we like it. Literally.
Is there
And then the whole
anything
time
better?
he gets the chick, bro, and he gets the chick.
Does it though? Why she
she's
was
in
getting
another
captured?
castle.
Why she keep getting captured?
Dude, you're just jealous because
It's
of
like that little. You ever
stash.
seen that?
This is
Mario.
sad.
You guys ever see that one? It's like this new thing that's out now. It's like Luigi's, Peach is getting captured, and it's like, save me, Mario. And then it's like
Yeah, I
Luigi's
see
like,
it.
no, bro, I can't. She's a hoe.
All right, Larry.
Yeah, Larry, what you got, man?
Larry,
I
hit
don't
us.
think you can hurt us any more than we've already been hurt.
May not be true.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Does it go against George again?
It does not
Oh,
actually.
thank God. I was about to have a heart attack.
It actually goes against Kev.
I was about to say it's going to be me.
It
Is
actually
it something
goes
that I
against-
can defend?
Probably not.
Kev.
Oh,
Probably so. Probably so. Okay.
Good thing there's a table between the two of them.
Is there?
Tobey Maguire is not the best Spider-Man that ever put on the suit.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I think
actually
it's
thought that-
Andrew. I think Andrew Garfield's the best.
And I think Tobey is better than Andrew.
Wow.
so who's your number one?
So who's your number
Spidey?
one? Really? You think it's
Don't
Tom
say
Holland?
it.
You're saying
Are you-
Holland is the best?
No.
Holland is the best Spider-Man.
My opinion. Of course, my opinion. Okay.
I'm about to say, screw your opinion.
It doesn't matter what you say.
Tobey Maguire was a really good Peter,
Mm-hmm.
not a good Spider-Man.
Yes.
Andrew was a really bad Peter,
Okay.
but a really good Spider-Man. Tom is a really good mix of both.
Gotta give him that.
He's a really good mix of both.
I
I gotta give him that.
I'm half and half
Andrew
on
by far is the best Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is the best looking Spider-Man. And that scene when Gwen smacked her head and he cried, yeah, that was the best scene in any Spider-Man movie ever shot. I don't care. It's the most
The
emotional.
first one, him running on the broken leg.
It was the best acting he's ever done in his life. Toby is overrated as Spider-Man. He's the OG, and I get it, but No Way Home did absolutely nothing for me with nostalgia.
I cried.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And
Multiple
then
times.
but Tom Holland is a very good mix of both. And he's just so goddamn charismatic. Like
Yes.
he's just like you have to root for him. You have to like him.
I think the best line from him was Infinity War, where he sees man, he's like, no, put your eggs in me.
Dude, I keep thinking of when he sees Tony take off that Doom mask and it's Tony's face and Victor Von Doom.
that's gonna break a lot of people.
That is like when he started disappearing in Endgame, like I
One of the
started tearing up.
greatest scenes.
Like I don't want to go.
I wanna go, I wanna go, I wanna go,
My
I wanna
wife's
go,
like,
I
"Are
wanna
you
go."
crying?"
You don't understand. Look at it.
We all did, man.
That
I
was-
was just like,
that-
oh.
And the fact we had to wait a year.
Yeah,
whole year.
but oh my god,
And then
they
the-
need to redo that. We need that type of
We
excitement.
need that for Doomsday.
and
Because that's what's
Doomsday
going
and Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And the Russo's brothers are the two that can do it.
Yes, again.
They are the two that can do it, and I think James Gunn is the one that can bring DC back from the grave.
Amen.
Okay.
Well, at least
Okay.
there's something we
With
can
that
agree
one,
on.
I'm not mad at. Everyone has their own opinion about those three. I prefer Andrew, but that's whatever.
I got you. I said this. I know it wasn't going to be what they said. What they said, that was just harsh. What I said is just an
That one I get.
honest statement. Because everybody don't like Tom as much as I do. No, I think Tom is a
I
really
think
good
Tom too.
combination of.
He's good.
All right, that was
What you got?
great. That was
Next
fun.
question.
That was very
That was
fun.
revealing as
We
hell.
do one more. We do one more question, but I don't think we can top of that last one.
I don't think so either.
That's where all the shorts are coming from. That.
That should definitely be.
So how about this? I have one more question for you. One more question. What's something nerd culture? Do I really want to do that one?
I mean, you already started it.
Yeah, like
You pick it.
I'm not going to do that one.
Okay.
Next time. Okay. What's your nerdy safe space when life is stressful?
I think
I have
Well,
an answer.
I think I have an answer.
Baby Gorilla Comics right here at PA.
Come on,
424 West Lincoln Highway. That's going to be your safe space for your nerddom. So get on down to Pendle, PA.
Come pick up a few comic books.
I cover those.
Even some
And
Star
some of
Wars.
those. A whole bunch of those.
And some of those.
A couple of those.
Oh crap! I got Ant-Man, but still.
Yes.
A few McFarlane statues, his new Marvel McFarlane statues that are out. We have them all. And the Force set is coming out soon with Venom.
Here's a controversy opinion.
Larry's favorite.
Oh.
Nah. Here's a controversial opinion. Ben Affleck was a halfway decent Daredevil. Watch the director's cut. It was a good movie. Julio
Even
brought
better
something
yet.
to it.
Doom. Oof, Rivals. So yeah, we have the Rivals Funko Pops here. We have Magneto, Iron Man, and Doom, but get ready for the movie. I can't wait for Dr. Doom to make his appearance.
So you know what that means? Your safe space will be doomed if it's not Baby Gorilla Comics over at 424 West Lincoln Highway. Like I put that
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
You got a little Cactus Jack in there.
Hey, like me now. Okay. So anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Any last words for y'all guys?
I got nothing to say to
I
anyone.
know that was wild.
So the next podcast will probably be less people.
No, we're gonna have some rebuttals. That's for sure.
No hate mails. Don't hit me up on Baby Gorilla Comics telling me that I suck and Batman's the best. It was my opinion. I'm entitled to it.
Jose's address is 123 Fake Street.
424 West Lincoln Highway, Baby Gorilla Comics.
All I know is after this episode, I'm driving home. I know what just happened to me. This is me back my great world.
All right. So here's the question for y'all guys. Do y'all guys agree with anything that we said in this episode? Don't forget.
Disagree.
Do you not like anything we said?
I know Mike don't. Make sure you fill out in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That's how we grow to bring out more content to y'all guys. Until next time, we love every single one of y'all.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, real quick.
Oh,
We lost YouTube fans from this episode. Boom, done. I'm just kidding.
But no, definitely, guys, real quickly, definitely comment, like, and share. Like, it means a lot. Like, we're a small podcast crew. We're just 6 dudes that love what we talk about, and we're just trying to spread that love. And hopefully you guys feel that love and you agree, disagree, but either way you're entertained. And just hit that like, share, follow, subscribe, leave comments. Let us know what you want to hear from us, what you want, what kind of shows you want from us. You know, we're open to direction. So yeah, definitely leave some comments, guys. Appreciate you.
Tag off for that real quick. I know we were here doing this episode, but we did get Alex BB. Want to give you a shout out for just breaking down Daredevil. So we'll hopefully talk about that on our next episode. Get a chance.
definitely our one of our last Daredevil episodes. We'll definitely go ahead and talk about Mr. Alex.
Yeah.
So appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. We see you.
Thanks for
How
the
is it-
love, brother.
We see you, man. We see you.
Muchas gracias.
Yeah, what he said. All right, we out.
Adios.
is